The first time I saw my name on a kill list, I didn't recognize it. Not because it wasn't mine. Because I had forgotten who I used to be. The folder lay on the metal table in front of me, stamped in red. Project Eve classified. Inside, photos. Files. Men I recognized. The doctor. The cult leader. The mercenary. The serial killer. Every monster I had escaped, and now marked for execution. And at the top of the list, my real name. My hands began to shake. Why is my name here? I whispered. The man across from me didn't answer. Silver hair. Cold eyes. The kind of man governments send when they don't want answers. Because, he said quietly, you're not on the list. You're the reason the list exists. They told me I had been recruited 12 years ago. After the first kidnapping. After the first erasure. After the first staged rescue. Back when I was 16 and someone decided I was special. Men like them are not born, the director said calmly. They are built. He slid another file toward me. Video. Grainy. A girl crying in a hospital bed. Strapped down. Begging a doctor not to touch her. I stopped breathing. That's me. Yes, he nodded. Your first test subject. The room spun. You erased my memories. We studied what broke you, he said. And what rebuilt you. Cold flooded my veins. You sent them. The doctor. The cult leader. The mercenary. The killer. My heart shattered. You let them destroy me. So we could study how monsters are made. Silence burned. And now, I whispered. He smiled slightly. Now you hunt them. My first target waited in a glass room underground. Chains on his wrists. Bruises on his face. Dark eyes that made my stomach drop. Noah. The guardian. The man who killed for me. The man who taught me how to pull a trigger. He looked up when I entered. And smiled. You finally found me, he whispered. My throat closed. They're going to execute you. Yes, he said calmly. For loving you. Tears filled my eyes. You killed 39 men. For you. Silence crushed us. They made you, he whispered suddenly. Froze. What? They built all of us around you. Cold wrapped around my spine. They watched you, he continued. Studied you. Sent us to you. My hands started shaking. No. They wanted to see which monster you would choose. Tears streamed down my face. And which one would choose you back? That night, alone in my room, I opened the final file. Not his. Subject 0, Eve. Inside. Orders. Experiments. Psychological profiles. Notes written by men I had never met. Subject capable of creating extreme emotional bonds. Triggers obsession in violent personalities. High success rate in monster formation. And one sentence at the bottom that destroyed me. She is not the survivor. She is the catalyst. I sank to the floor shaking. I wasn't escaping monsters. I was creating them. Every cage. Every rescue. Every obsession. All designed. Round me. And then my phone vibrated. One message. Unknown number. They're lying to you. We were never supposed to die. Another message appeared. You're not their weapon. You're their queen. My breath shattered. Because I recognized the sender. Victor. The mercenary. The man who vanished. And his final words burned into my screen. Do you want to see the truth? About who you really are? Victor found me before the organization could. Not in my room. Not in the halls. In my memories. Flash drive appeared under my door that night. No note. No warning. Just one word written on the plastic in black ink. Remember. My hands shook as I plugged it into the computer. The first file opened automatically. Video. Hospital camera. A girl on a bed. Strapped down. Christine. Me. But this time, I wasn't crying. I was calm. Focused. Looking directly into the camera. If you're watching this, the girl said softly, it means they erased me again. My heart stopped. This is your real voice, she continued. Your real choice. The screen flickered. Another clip. The same room. The same girl. But now, I was signing papers. Contracts. Consent forms. Men in suits standing around me. Why? I whispered. The girl on the screen answered me. Because I was dying. Memory slammed back. A diagnosis. Rare neurological disease. Months left to live. Pain that never stopped. I was offered a choice, the girl said quietly. Die slowly, or become useful. My breath shattered. They told me they were building weapons, she continued. Men who could hunt monsters. The screen changed. Profiles. Psychological reports. Names I recognized. Noah. Victor. The doctor. The cult leader. All of them were broken before me, she said. But none of them were obedient. The video paused. Text appeared. Subject 0. Failure rate 97%. The girl looked back at the camera. They needed something stronger than control. They needed love. The truth burned through me slowly. They didn't send monsters to destroy me. They sent me. To shape them. To bind them. To turn violent men into loyal weapons. They rewrote my memories after every mission, my past self whispered. So I would fall in love again. So I would choose again. So they could study which monster bonded the deepest. Tears poured down my face. I was never escaping, she said. I was testing. The final clip loaded. The girl was crying now. Blood on her lips. A gun in her hand. If you're watching this. I failed, she sobbed. I fell in love for real. The screen went black. The director came for me at dawn. 2 guards. Cold smile. You watched the files, he said. Yes, I whispered. And now you understand, he nodded. You are the most successful behavioral weapon we've ever created. You turned my life into experiments. We turned your pain into progress. Rage exploded inside my chest. You used my body, my mind, my love. Yes. And now, I whispered. Now you finish the season, he said calmly. He slid a final folder onto the table. Inside, 3 photos. 3 men. Alive. Hidden. The last monsters. Victor. The doctor. And one face that made my heart stop. My fiancé. The man who tried to kill me. Still alive. Working for them. You choose who lives, the director said softly. Kill them or free them. My hands trembled. And if I refuse? He smiled. We erase you again. That night I went back to the glass room. Noah. He looked up when he saw my face. Anew. They told you, he whispered. Yes. He smiled sadly. Welcome back, Eve. My breath froze. You knew my real name. All of us did, he said softly. They called you our origin. Tears streamed down my face. They made you love me. No. He shook his head. They made me meet you. Silence crushed us. And the rest, he whispered. That part was mine. I sank to my knees. They want me to kill you. I know. And if I don't, they'll erase you again. He stood slowly. Chains rattling. Then listen to me very carefully, he whispered. There is only one way to destroy them. My heart pounded. How? He leaned close to the glass. Become exactly what they built you to be. They brought them to me one by one. Not prisoners. Not enemies. My creations. The monsters I had loved. The doctor came first. Older. Ray. Hands shaking. Chains on his wrists. When he saw me, he fell to his knees. You, he whispered. The man who erased my mind. The man who broke me. They told me you were dead. They lied, I said quietly. Tears streamed down his face. They made me do it. They said if I didn't erase you, they'd kill you. And you believed them, I whispered. Yes. The director watched from behind the glass. Choose, he said softly. I looked at the man who destroyed my mind. And for the first time, felt nothing. Lock him back in, I said. The director smiled. Victor came next. No chains. No guards. He walked in calmly like he owned the room. When he saw me, his breath stopped. Eve. My real name. You remember? Yes. Tears filled his eyes. I tried to protect you. You created my fear, I said softly. I loved you. You built me. Silence burned. They're going to erase me again, I whispered. His hand shook. Then run with me. Not this time. I touched the glass between us. You taught me how to disappear. He smiled sadly. I taught you how to survive. And now I'll teach you how to end this. The director frowned. The third man was the cult leader. Bruises. Still smiling. My queen, he whispered. Cold ran through my veins. You remember me? Yes, I said. You told me I was chosen by God. And you believed me. No, I whispered. I believed myself. The director stepped closer. You're taking too long. I turned to him slowly. These men were never the real monsters, I said quietly. Silence fell. What? They were experiments. His smile froze. And experiments are controlled by someone else. That night I went to the deepest level of the facility. The place no one talked about. Door marked. Archive. Founders only. The code came to me without thinking. My birthday. The door opened. Inside. Old files. First experiments. Photos. Young men. Young women. Scientists. And one familiar face. Standing beside the director. Smiling. Not as a subject. As a partner. My heart stopped. Memory crashed through me like fire. A laboratory. Me in a white coat. Not crying. Commanding. You can't control violent men, I said in the memory. You have to make them love. The director stood beside me. Nervous. You're sure this will work? Yes, I answered calmly. Because I am like them. The memory shifted. Contract. 2 signatures. Mine. Project Eve co-founder. I collapsed to my knees screaming. I hadn't been recruited. I had built it. The director found me there. Gun in his hand. Face pale. You weren't supposed to remember. I created you, I whispered. You were my assistant. You used me as your weapon. No, I said softly. I used you as my shield. Tears ran down my face. I was dying, and I didn't want to die powerless. Silence crushed us. So you turned yourself into a goddess of monsters, he whispered. Yes. And then you erased yourself. Yes. To forget what you had become. Yes. They locked me in my old office. Glass walls. Guards outside. The director pacing. You're too dangerous to live, he said quietly. And too valuable to kill. I laughed softly. You're afraid of me. Yes. You should be. That night, every lock in the building opened. Alarms died. Lights went out. Phones went dark. One by one. The monsters walked free. Noah. Victor. The doctor. The cult leader. All standing in the hallway outside my glass room. Watching me. Waiting. Noah smiled softly. You always knew how to call us. My breath shook. I never wanted this. But you built us for it, Victor whispered. The director backed away shaking. You can't control them. I stood slowly. Walked to the glass. Looked at the men who had loved me. Killed for me. Destroyed themselves for me. And whispered the words that ended the world. Protect me. The first shot came from behind the glass. The director fired at me. The bullet shattered the wall beside my head. And then, the monsters moved. Noah was the first. So fast the guards never even screamed. Next snap. Guns dropped. Victor pulled a blade from nowhere and disappeared into the smoke. The doctor locked the control room. The cult leader laughed as he set fire to the servers. Alarms exploded. Lights flickered. Men ran. Men died. Blood flooded the white floors of the facility that had built us. And in the center of it all, I stood. Not running. Not hiding. Watching. The director tried to escape through the archive. Followed him. Barefoot. Silent. He turned when he heard my footsteps, gun shaking in his hands. You destroyed everything, he whispered. No, I said softly. I finished what I started. You'll become worse than all of them. Smiled. I already am. He fired. Missed again. Noah appeared behind him like a shadow, hand on his shoulder. The director screamed. No! I raised my hand. And Noah stopped. The director collapsed to his knees, crying, begging. You made me, I whispered. You used my pain. You turned love into a weapon. I was trying to save the world. You were trying to own it. I knelt in front of him. And now you're going to tell me everything. Hours later, the truth lay open. Governments, sponsors, wars started with monsters I had created. Cities destroyed, men controlled, all because of me. And one final file. Phase Omega, Shadow Queen. My heart stopped. They planned this, Victor whispered. They wanted you to take control. No, I said slowly. They knew I already would. Silence fell around us. The base burned. Bodies everywhere. The world outside still didn't know. Noah stood in front of me. Soft, bloody, waiting. What do you want, Eve? He whispered. Had 3 choices. Destroy everything. Burn the files. Kill the monsters. End the project. Let the world forget. Or use it. Take the network. Take the men. Take the weapons I had built. Become what they feared. Queen no one could control. Victor knelt slowly in front of me. You were always our center, he said quietly. The doctor lowered his head. My mind belongs to you. The cult leader smiled. My faith is yours. Noah took my hands. Not kneeling. Not bowing. Just looking at me like he always had. You don't need to rule, he whispered. You can walk away. I looked at the burning halls. At the ghosts of every girl I had been. At the monsters I had loved. And finally, myself. I walked to the control room. Typed 1 code. Just 1. Every server in the system began to count down. 5 minutes. The men froze. You're destroying everything, Victor whispered. Yes. Noah closed his eyes. And the monsters. I'm freeing them. The final message went out to every hidden cell in the world. Project Eve terminated. All subjects released. Files erased. Databases burned. Names vanished. History's gone. The organization died in silence. We left before the explosion. Before the world noticed. By morning, the base never existed. Governments denied everything. Men disappeared. Stories became rumors. Me vanished. Years later, in a city that doesn't know my name, I run a small bookstore near the ocean. Quiet. Normal. No one knows what I was. Or what I made. Sometimes, men come in. Broken men. Dangerous men. Men who look at me like they recognize something in my eyes. And sometimes, at night, I feel someone watching from the street. Protecting. Always protecting. And I understand the final truth. I did not destroy the monsters. I did not rule them. I did something far more terrifying. Taught them how to live without me. Because the real power was never in controlling monsters. It was in knowing that if I ever whisper one word, they will come back. Not as my weapons. Not as my slaves. But as my kings. Waiting. Forever.